Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the second episode of The Scene, the show where we live by the artist's favorite rule: imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Without further ado, let's redo it. Before we get to talking about the movie, I just want to acknowledge that some things have kind of changed with this episode. This angle is a little bit different, the lighting is a little bit different. As I mentioned, I kind of constantly want to be growing and improving, so hold on to your butts. Or something like that. Anyway, the movie that we're going to be taking a look at is The Grand Budapest Hotel, which is probably one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies, along with like Moonrise Kingdom. I Love Dogs was pretty good. There's a lot of them out there that are really, really good. But this one in particular, I feel like pretty much exemplifies his style and, the techniques, the centering, all the stuff that's like pretty well known about Wes Anderson. We are going to look at one scene in particular though, and that's the scene sort of during the love montage between the main character and Agatha. And this scene in particular is really, really short. It's 6 seconds long, so it doesn't sound like it's going to be challenging, but it kind of is. Let's take a look. It's a pretty sweet scene, huh? I really like the spinning lights behind her head, as well as the sort of strobing lights across her face. It's a really nice effect while she remains perfectly still, centered in that frame. It will definitely be a little challenging to do in my apartment and not on a carousel or in a studio. Actually, I don't know how they filmed that. But I'm up for it. Let's redo it. The setup for this shoot involved two bike light strings from Amazon, LED bulbs that you can control the light color, and then also a bike. So what I did was I strung one set of lights on the outside of the tire and one set on the inside of the tire, which I hope would imitate the effect from the original shot where you had the two sets of swirling colors. Couldn't figure out a way to get them to spin in opposite directions, but hopefully it's a minor detail that people will overlook. Here I am laboriously zip tying it to the tire. That was really fun. Then I wanted to test out the shot, so here I am in frame. And then with the model, I also swung the light bulb in her face to check that sort of strobing color. Alrighty, so first step was of course just scrubbing through and picking the clip that would work best facial expression, best spin of the wheel, etc., and then giving it a bit of a crop to match the original. Then it was on to the color. I wanted to make sure the balance of orange to purple was right, which are sort of the two major dominant colors in this scene. It took a couple tries, but I think I got some pretty good color going on, adjusting from that flat Sony profile. Then we added on the film grain, which I think just gives it kind of that nice, that movie look, that little something that really elevates it, as well as starting to adjust the speed of the clip. I did end up going back on that just to even more, bring it down to about 50% of the original speed, and then I had some second thoughts about the color, but in the end, went with what I knew worked. And there we have it. That was the scene. What'd you think? Let me know in the comments below. I was really excited to do this scene. It's one of my favorite scenes from any Wes Anderson movie. I just feel like so much emotion and feeling is captured in such a short moment that has no dialogue. I love it when things do that. I know this episode was a bit more about sort of the method and the technique, the workarounds, than the last one. If you like that thing and you'd rather have more of that as opposed to like a longer scene, let me know. I kind of like it. I feel like that's what I want this channel to be about. We'll see, as I said, growing and evolving, changing camera angles, really trying to keep you on your toes. Anyway, Thanks a lot for tuning in for episode 2 of The Scene. See you next time.